Hello, we are into the quarterfinal of the Women World Cup 2019, and even the first match of the quarterfinal has been played yesterday night between England and Norway. Well, one of the very interesting facts in this quarterfinal is that 7 out of 8 teams comes from the European side. What does it mean to the women's soccer role? Well, it doesn't necessarily mean that European nation is the strongest in the world at the moment. Well, considering that there are lots of factors leading to the quarterfinalists, and also we have to consider that whether the other continents like Asian, Africa, and South American soccer teams, women soccer teams, are really declining. If we look at the individual team like Japan or even the China, who which has a rather weak attacking force, we should not discount their their performance in the World Cup. Rather, I would say that sometimes like Japan, the teams like Japan or Argentina, is a really unlucky. Well, but football counts the results, and if and I really doubt that if a lot of audience look or watch, not look, but watch the whole match, the single every match. If you look into the single every match, I mean the full match, you will see the difference between just looking from the very short highlight and the full match. You will see more if you see the full match. So I would not discount the and would not conclude that okay, other continents are falling far behind. No, this would not be my 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 conclusion. But simply one of the factors that leading to the finals results is that a lot of European nations has a professional football league, and you one should remember that the European side has a Champions League. I think this is one of the biggest tournament in terms of the cup level in the world so far. No other continents could have such a big tournament uh, in the women's soccer. Don't put the men's soccer roles into the women's one. Well, if there is no um, Asian Championship, there's no South American Championship. I mean the cup level in the women's world. So a lot of women soccer players in other continents receive far less competitive soccer match. If you are not going abroad, like some of the Japanese player and even China striker Wang Zhang, who is playing in Paris and Saint Germain, I don't think they could compete at a very high level unless more and more competitive match will be available to them in the future. So let's talk about the quarterfinal. Well, the match between England and Norway. Well, it's make me a little bit surprised if you look at the result, both the result and the performance. England, I think, performed at a rather easy fashion, it, rather easier than what we seen last time when they were against Cameroon. Well, I would say Norwegian has their chance, especially in the second half. But Hansen, Will Risa, and Brighton could not seize the opportunity, and really have to place the brave display by the goalkeeper Basley, the Manchester City goalkeeper, who who brought a number of shots, important shots. If not, if not having Basley in goal, I would say Norway should score at least one goal back. And if you look into the England's team performance, I mean, again in the second half, this time not from Greenwood, but from the central defender, Bright. Um, she commits a number of several mistakes that could cost England the match if Norway could convert the chance. Those chances, I mean, 4 to 5 chances. So England's, I mean, from in the defensive line, it still had a number of problems that Phil Neville has to be resolved, has to resolve before going to the semi-final. If you go against USA or France, this would be a chaos. This would be a chaos. It is this kind of careless mistakes could not be recovered in time. Well, unfortunately, it has a very young and versatile attacking players like on fire striker White and also Kirby, who already took the starting lineup again yesterday and create a number of good chances, and also herself making a direct threat to the Norwegian defense. So and also with the support from Paris, and also one of the MVPs in the match, I think, Lucy Bronx, the right back player. It is he she is very extremely useful to the England team, and also his supplementary assistance to the, and also even sometimes she organize she helped in organizing the attack could be a very important asset to the England side in the semi-final. She is very excellent. Was very excellent yesterday night and also throughout the tournament. So I think England has to be rely on her and the goalkeeper Basley to stay strong at the back and also making threats in the front. Well, when we talk about the other matches that has yet to be played, like USA and France, I think it is one. It is a regret. It is the regret that this is not the final matchup. It should be a final matchup if those two sides are not separate into two lines. Um, I think USA would not be definite advantage in this match. Um, because France is a host, and the secondly, France is a very solid team, and they do not need to dominate the match. But but when you look at its attacking lines, like it has very fast pace and very high quality players like Asayi, Dinani, very fast paced player, and center forward Guavin and the left hand player La Soma, both all of them could create a lot of very threatening chances. So I think the USA the defensive player should bear in mind of it. Well, especially I think USA the defensive players are still yet to be tested a lot. If you look at their performance against Spain in the last 16, I do not think that they perform at its best, and sometimes it has the defensive line create and give a given a number of chances to the opponents. So I think France, with the home advantage and the cheers from the home fans, I think could could force an extra time with the USA. And USA also relies on the individual ability from I think from veteran Rand Paul and also the famous Alex Morgan. If France could stop these two important players and also do not make room for for the midfielders like Lafayette to run into their defensive areas, I think USA could somehow could be curbed from getting more and more chances. So that remains to be seen. It is one of the high should be one of the highest quality match in the semi-final, quarter-final. Sorry, if you if I recommend a quarter-final for you to see, especially you do not have time to see all of the matches, I will recommend Netherlands against Italy. Netherlands against Italy. Well, you may say they may be not be the very high quality team when comparing to USA and even Germany, but they are up and coming, especially Italy. I think supported by the Serie A, and especially the establishment of Juventus female soccer team in the recent years. I think the national teams benefit from them, especially the striker Gian Cinti, the top striker in the Serie A this seasons. Also the Juventus player. I think Italy is somehow very entertaining with its it, very skillful player like Bonanza, the midfielder, and also the striker, two main striker, Ginacetti, yes, and also Guerreri. Uh, and sometimes other utility players like Goli and Giuliano could cause a number of problems to the opponents. I think Giuliano his passing ability should not be should not be un, un, should not be undermined. Well, so I think when Italy goes against Netherlands, well, it is hard to predict which team dominate the possession because Netherlands um and well, I don't have to speak talk this in details because if you look at the squad, there are there are a number of very energetic and versatile players in the front, led by one descendant Medima and the midfield master Van de Donk, and also its defensive line is somehow could be somehow solid, led by the uh, Peter Chick in the women's soccer role, uh, Van Fernandel. So I think this should be a very entertaining match, and I predict that Italy and Netherlands would attack with attacks each other during the match. So they that would be somehow is to a certain extent a very even match. Yeah, I would from the perspective of a of the normal soccer fans, of standard soccer fans, I would like to see a very thrilling match. And this matchup could could be a very could be realized to all of you. And the match between Sweden and Germany, well, I think it is a close one again. Well, Sweden somehow it plays a rather direct football. But they quite more organized than the Norwegian side, because they have a number of they are a number of very good player, good striker, and very good attacker in the front, like Rothro and Asani. But one of the main problem is that their um con their scoring their scoring ability is not very high, and it's not very consistent. So I think this is one of the weakness that could cause them for to the elimination in the quarterfinal. Germany is a very steady team, even without the experienced midfielder Marosans, who suffered a broken neck after the match with China. I think the Bliss, who has been in place in its position for a number of matches, I think the team could work and at its at the at his standards, at least at his standards, and the team play could be somehow could be could perform at its best with the up and coming players, like the left back wing, and also the striker Pop, and the left flank players Swinners. I think those players could create a very direct threat to the opponents, and I really think that Germany could score somehow from the free kick, and also uh, for the indirect chance. Even though they may not create a lot of threatening chances on the field and on their attacking areas, but it could be but the chances could be converted from the free kicks. So I really think that Germany could edge past Sweden in a very tight matchup. No, so let's see if the quarterfinals, if the semifinals will be given to Germany. Uh, England already already in the semifinals, and whether France or USA could be in the semifinals. And I would like to see Netherlands in the semifinal, but the challenge from Italy is the one not to be overlooked.